Emergency blackouts continue in Ukraine. Russian Federation has been shelling the country's critical infrastructure since October. A blackout also happened in the Republic of Moldova when the Russian bombardments caused an automatic shutdown of a transit line. Ukrainian energy workers have managed to deal effectively with all consequences of the shelling every time. And Ukrainian citizens have organized the flash mob on the social media, saying "without light, but without you." Hi, my name is Marianna and I'm researcher of Ukrainian fact-checking project Stopfake. Today we have a new episode and I'm very happy to present it in English for the first time with the support of our Serbian partner, the Institute for National and International Security from Belgrade. Energy is a hot topic in the context of Russian aggression against Ukraine as well. Russian missile strikes on the Ukrainian energy systems are also accompanied by informational bombardment. So the Russian agitprop doesn't doze off either. To exacerbate the inspired energy crisis, the Kremlin has launched a disinformation campaign with the various targets against Ukraine and neighboring countries. And let's see how it works. Today we are talking about target audiences from the propaganda perspective. Kiev regime sells electricity to Moldova even though its own citizens do not have it. Here's one more example. People in Kiev are increasingly expressing opinions about selling precious electricity to Moldova, Romania and the West. The mentioning of Romania here is not accidental. We will come back to this shortly. But in general, it is a typical informational matryoshka which aims to undermine the ability to confront the crisis, destabilizing the situation at all levels, to discredit the government during the military aggression, to provoke tension among people and to radicalize relations with other countries. Let's look at facts first. The terrorist state Russian Federation started massive shelling of Ukrainian energy infrastructures in the first half of October. On 10 October, Russia fired 84 missiles at Ukrainian energy facilities. And on 15 November, the Russian occupiers already fired 100 rockets at Ukraine. Once again, Russia launches dozens of missiles at critical infrastructures, resulting in massive blackouts in Ukraine. Citizens of neighboring Moldova also briefly learned what a blackout is. Kremlin propagandist claims that Ukraine, amid shortages, is exporting electricity to other countries. These messages usually come from agitprop informational platforms. For example, the Russian proxy in occupied Melitopol, Vladimir Rogov, shared his alleged insights with Russian media. He claims that people from Kiev are suffering from a lack of electricity due to the exports, not because of Russian missiles bombing, but because of exports. Another agitprop front in this narrative is YouTube. Suddenly, certain Ukrainian bloggers started appearing on the platform, claiming that Ukraine was exporting precious electricity, leaving its own citizens without light. But again, how it is that electricity has become precious? They, for some reason, don't explain. But they say that Ukraine sells electricity to Romania. So-called vigilant citizens allegedly determine this by the sounds from the high-voltage transmission towers.
Ну що ж, вирішив я перевірити, чи дійсно зеля ІКО нам їздить по вухам. Ось підійшов я до такої вишечки високовольтної, яка тікає прямо на Румунію.
These bloggers also cite data from the EU's United Electricity Grid website. In doing so, the figures shown are not from commercial transit. Sergei Kovalenko, director of Ukrainian electricity and gas suppliers company Yasno, explained where the actual data are placed at the site. It has a dashboard with the tab Scheduled Commercial Exchange. It is a commercial supplies. These sections clearly show that Ukraine is not exporting anything to anyone. Some information soldiers of Russia are trying to shift the focus from missiles attack to corruption schemes, even with the help of fortune-telling cards. Moreover, yesterday's anti-vaxxers have also been actively involved in this topic. We see planned work with various target audiences whose sentiments Russia is trying to radicalize in a language understandable specifically to them. For some, it is a data manipulations. For others, it is a fortune-telling cards and entertainment. For others, it is a conspiracy theories. As I mentioned above, Romania and Moldova are in this narrative for a logical and practical reason. On 23 November, neighboring with Ukraine, Moldova experienced a second blackout due to the shelling of the Ukrainian critical infrastructure. It happened because the two systems are interconnected since the Soviet time. There was an emergency shutdown. However, here Russian matryoshka also has come with its propaganda. Russian missile attacks helped Moldova to discover corruption energy schemes of Kiev. Prior to this, Energocom, a Moldovan company, purchased electricity from the company which is located in occupied Transnistria, but also from Ukraine. After the forced stoppage of Ukrainian revenues to Moldova, the company from Transnistria also reduced the volume of electricity generation, helping to create a deficit in Moldova. In March this year, Ukraine and Moldova urgently joined the European interconnected power grid, and in these current circumstances, Chișinău managed to produce emergency imports from Romania. Romania has become the primary alternative for Moldova during critical situations. That is why it is so important for Russian propaganda to discredit Bucharest in this context. So often yesterday's anti-vaxxers and today's fortune tellers are engaged in much more serious sins than they may seem at first sight. They may not know about it even, but it is very essential to understand it for us. See you. It was a joint blog of the Ukrainian Stopfake and AVA TV.